And I'm live. That is pretty cool. Today is 12th of March 2026, Friday. And before beginning, a quote from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, a random quote. Let's see. Okay, this one. Consider thyself to be dead, and to have completed thy life up to the present time, and live according to the nature, the remainder which is allowed thee. This is a quote that we have already read, but this is pretty cool. Consider yourself to be dead till this point, and your life starts from here, and take it from here. Pretty cool thing to say. Okay, and yeah, in the stream, what do we have to do? One run back. We have to add some UI elements to make things right. What I want to do is like, okay, let me write stuff. This was the goal for like day before yesterday, which is still hasn't been completed. And let me add some other goals for today. It would be, first of all, make UI cool, like at least make the minimal version of the UI. And yep, make UI cool. And second would be fix the reload problem. Nope, make this reproducible, or update readme. Update readme.md, because yes, there have, if I want this project to be accessible to other people, to like developer, if someone else wants to run this locally, then they must go through some process, and that will be shown in the readme. Okay, so first of all, we got to make the UI cool. Then one white cool. There is going to be this too, so I guess I should move this to screen. Shit. Screen 5, screen 5, cool, and a new window, and move this to screen 4. Not this one, the other one. Yep, it is already there on screen 4. Command Shift N, cool, localhost. Yep. Here, localhost. Yep, pretty cool. And one more thing that we can do is, I guess this opening screen is fine. It's fine. We can write the label of like on this website, which is called Shah, SCHACH, which means chess in German. So we will have that here, and we also need a theme color for this website. And I guess theme color we can decide at some point. And one more thing is, we can detect the location on in which this like front end is running, and make only that point red, and everything else would be like normal. That would be a cool thing to have. And for now, this play button does not work. Okay, first of all, let's make this play button work. Wait. And yes, the aspect ratio of today's stream is different. Log.md. There are updates. New is go paste. Today is 12. Cool. What I want to do is fix bugs here. Make the UI work fully on front end, which involves page navigation and user direction to login page on if not logged in. First of all, let's make page navigation okay. Front end, source, pages, homepage. Yep, we got to add few things here. Const navigate equals use navigate, and then here on the button just have to give on click will be a function which navigates to play. Cool. And is this working? It is not, because we have to navigate to start and not to play. Cool. Navigate to start. Cool. And yep, what else? Hello, good morning. I am amazing. How are you? Working on front end. Yep, fixing bugs. Copilot removed Claude models from student develop. Claude models. Wait, were there Claude models before? Working on some good P2P things. Wait, payments. You are doing payment things. Okay, like I guess you have to be careful with those. And how do you like the aspect ratio? The aspect ratio is more taller now, and now you can see this top bar which you were not able to see before. So yeah, that's just something. Okay, we should add here the name of the website. That is one thing, and the other thing is wherever the user is right now should be the only place which is red here. So okay, two things. Navigation page. Okay. Shit. Above the globe, a div says yes, and class name flex justify gap to in medium justify start. Class name should be make it flex, and with like full. By default it is full because it is a div. And how does it look? It is not there because of the color, I guess. Makes sense, it is because of the color. So shit, because the theme is dark right now, I think. Four. Shit, it is not there ever. This thing SCH yes is not there. Next column, still nothing somehow. And also like the globe is not in the middle. The single div has this, and above it we do have this SCH which is behind the button. Shit, why is this thing behind the button? Okay, I guess globe is fixed. Okay, shit, makes sense. Oh, about now? It is at the top. Button is fixed. Hello. And this thing is still behind the button. Class name flex. Button is fixed. Okay, why is this behind the button? Mhm. Well, these two things should be in context of this div because the button has this like display property fixed. I think fixed is the display property which we have to use here. Uh, display property CSS. Shit, no, not display position. CSS position properties. Position absolute. Okay. Static, like nothing. Normal. Absolute, the element is positions relative to the first position on static. Okay, shit, I guess. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Fixed, the element is positioned relative to the browser window. Relative, sticky. Okay, so absolute should be working. Fixed. Yes, we want this to be fixed. I guess the globe is also outside the context of the window. Yep, it is absolute. The globe is absolute. Okay, the globe is absolute. Why remove this? Then, okay, cool. Now we do see chess at the top. SCH. Ah, cool. Cool, that is very cool. Now we need to style this thing. Just bold. Wait, how do we say bold? Font bold and text 4 XL. But I think these two things should the terminal and what we are seeing should be at the same page. Therefore, 4 cool. And that is minimalistic, and that also does look pretty cool. We can click on play and go there and select our stuff. Okay, that actually is cool. Actually, but I do not understand how the color is changing. How color of this chess SCHACH Shah is changing from white to black according to the like theme. That is tailwind at magic. Okay. But okay, this looks fine. Next thing would be to fix this location thing. Wherever the user is right now should be the thing which goes red. So this to 2. Okay, so in JavaScript, how to get users location in JS browser, geolocation API navigator location. Using the geolocation API, the main menu for one-time location retrieval is get current position. Check the geolocation support, and geolocations is available. Geolocation location is not available. Navigator. Navigator. So we have to see if this navigator thing exists or not. We can make this a utility function, which looks like the obvious thing to do. And this would be the only place where we are importing this function. This component, this page is the only place where we need this function. We can have a lib.ts file right here, const get location. This function will get the location. Okay, if geolocation in navigator, okay, navigator is a thing. In navigator, in a small case. And what is this navigator? Else return no location, and if this, then return location and export this, and not just this, navigator dot geolocation is a thing here by default. Let's see console.log navigator dot geolocation and do not return. Cool. Remove all this random stuff. Cool. And import get location from lib get location. Call get location here. Cool. On the home page, geolocation, and this thing is empty because we have to do something with it. Okay, after this, geolocation dot get current position. Get current position, success callback, error callback, and options. Right now, let's not give any options. Error callback would just console.log e, and success callback data console.log data. Cool. And what do we have? Yes, allow location, and we do have the coordinates. Looks cool. Chords accuracy 49, latitude and longitude are right here. Okay, that is cool. That is cool. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. Return -1 if nothing works. Or can we ever have -1 as someone's legitimate coordinates? I think we can have them as like okay coordinates. So range for latitudes and longitudes, I don't know, range latitudes from -90 to +90, and longitude from -180 to +180. So -200 and +200 would be okay. -200, and also minus 200 and 200. These are never possible latitudes and longitudes, so that is cool. And if this is the case, wait, we are returning this from this function. Okay, let's say let location equals by default 200 200, and if error nothing, we don't want anything to do, and data dot chords dot latitude and longitude. Okay, location 0 would be equal to data dot chords dot latitude. First would be latitude, and location 1 equals data dot chords dot longitude would be the second, and then return location. Console.log. And also latitudes are like this, longitudes are vertical, I think. Minus 180, yep. Long Shit, no, longitudes are horizontal. East to west, okay, longitudes are, they give us horizontal direction, but they run from north to south. Okay, and the format in which these are expected by the globe is, let's see, this is our globe, and this has location just like this, longitudes and latitudes, I guess, 28 and 29, which console.log. Let's see what are my longitudes and latitudes. Refresh, play. Shit. Go back, play. Why are my longitudes and latitudes? Wait, why does this thing say 200 and this thing is different from 200? Okay, whatever. First thing is the latitude and the second is the longitude. 277 here, 277. Okay, this is the exact order that we need to give location in. And the size, how big is this size? That is quite big. That is okay. I think that much size is okay. We just have to pass them here to this thing, config. How do we do this? Where is this markers used? It is not used. On render is a empty function. How do we give custom markers? And why are these markers not used? This file just defines this. Okay, let's make this let, and we will have a function which changes this, or no, which doesn't change this, but we can add to our globe. Yep, this thing, config. So we can give the configuration. Okay, that is cool. We can give the configuration. We can give the configuration. That is cool. So why is there no LSP support? config. Yes, I want to pass in config. Type of this config is globe code options or undefined. And one of those options is markers. I just want to give this markers option. Cannot find name markers. Markers is like right there. Config is of type globe options. Okay, that is wrong somehow. The type of this config is globe options, and that is what we are passing, but it is wrong somehow. So we can go here. I think the UI from where I took this was called Magic UI. This one. Okay, and configuration options, config. Okay, these are the things that I can provide. Options. Height with markers. I want to provide markers. Markers is an object of location. Uh, or instead of get location, I guess this globe should do this on its own. There should not be any get location function here. Makes sense, which would be easier to do. Cool. Get location, we can have get location here, and we can go to our globe and change the globe itself. Okay, we can change the globe itself here. When the globe mounts, we can define a use effect. And here location equals get location, call the get location function, and if there would be a default location should be 00. What is 00? If location is not equal to 200, which means we didn't get the location. If we did get a location, then globe config dot markers 0 dot location dot 0 location dot 0 equals location dot 0, and second make it equal to this. Otherwise do not do anything. Okay, what do we see right now? Okay, shit, we are seeing 00. We are not seeing the location. Shit, okay, we are not seeing the correct location. Console.log. I guess we have to do a wait here and make this async, which we cannot do. Okay, const async set location. Wait, no, const set location equals async function, which does not take in anything, and it just does this. And then await get location has, okay, shit, we also have to make this function async, and can we do await? No. Await has no effect on this expression. Shit, I guess we will always be getting the old location. Can you put the return here? But this return would run for this function. I guess we are always getting the old location log location, because location is updating later on when this callback function gets called. But we would like to wait for this function. Okay, nothing is printed here. Why is nothing printed? Because we are not calling set location. Okay. We do see the latest location. Log hi and console log location. And we do get the latest location. Okay, we are getting the latest location here. So what is wrong? In markers, we are going to the first thing, and in the location we are updating the location to the current location. Shit, but it is not updating. The location is not updating. Config. Search for this. Search here. These are the things that we are rendering. We want this use effect to run before we get the render. Before we get the render. Okay, for which we can have a state variable which changes. Okay, we can have a state variable which changes when we have updated the location. Okay, const updated set updated use state import use state, and after we have called this, and then here set updated to true, so that we get a re-render. Change this, and but shit, this will keep calling. Shit. If not updated. Wait, no. If not updated, then only call set location. We don't have to pass this. Cool. And we do not see the current location. Okay, that is messed up. Do we see updated? Updated false. Okay, we see updated false, and then we do not see updated. Okay, this thing is never true. I think it is. It is true, like 4 times. We cannot give markers as options when we call this globe function, which is bad. Mars. The type of this config is cube config options. It takes in cube config options, which is this type, and this type does have markers, so we should be able to give markers. Config options, why are we not able to give this? Hey, shit. Okay. This thing goes in. Okay, this thing goes in as an object. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Okay. And what are the things that we can remove? Okay, these things we cannot remove. We cannot remove width and height. Yep, we can not. Okay, we will have another function which after getting the location we will get a configuration which works for us. Yep, and then we will pass in that new configuration, that new updated configuration. Okay, cool. Await get location, export get globe config. This is not an async function. Advanced. Okay, and I guess like this function can get the location on its own. We can make this function async and const location equals await get location, and location is declared but never used. Okay, now let config equals this thing that we are returning. Okay, and config is declared but never used. That is completely fine. Config at the end location is never used. That is also completely fine. Here we will check if location 0 is not equal to 200, which means we are like at a nice place. In that case we will update the markers, otherwise we won't. Cool. Config, pass in the config and get the config. Const config equals get globe config promise. Okay, await this, and we can put this inside a use effect. Would that be good, putting this inside a use effect? That would be good. Actually, good. I should put myself on do not disturb and also phone. One second. Okay, cool. Use effect. Here we will have our async function const get config equals async function, which gets the location and we want to render the globe or re-render the globe when this thing changes, so we can put this config inside a state which would initially be empty or undefined. Cool. Const globe config set globe config, and initially this is the type is this options. Initially it is undefined, and that is the second value this thing can have undefined. Okay, and this is never used, that is totally fine. Globe config. After getting the config, set globe config to config type. This is not assignable. Why? What is the return type of this? Type of this is this whole thing, which is type of config, which is scope options. This thing returns config. Scope options, the return type of async function must be inside a promise. Okay, promise, which returns this and error. Okay, config is not assignable to this. Why? Options. Okay, cool. The error is here. We were importing C. C is something. And get config. Okay, cool. Get config. Call get config. Internally get the configuration and set the configuration. Cool. Now we should see. We do not see the current location of the person, which is me. Localhost. What do we see? Yeah, shit. We are still seeing the bad thing, not the right location. Await set configuration. Console.log config. Okay, we have all this and markers. We have just one location, which is 0, 0. Okay, so this is not returning the right config. Why? Global config console.log location. We get location from this get location, and location is right. location is not. Right. Console.log location 0 200, which is wrong. 200 is wrong. Okay, shit, this function is updating the location later on. Yes, the same problem is there. Yes, 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 yes. When this other function runs, shit, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so the problem is that there is this function which we are running, get current position, which takes in this callback function, which updates this location variable, this location thing, and then returns this. But the problem is we are returning this location earlier and the location is not yet updated because this is an asynchronous function, or this function takes in a callback, we could say. So how do we fix this? How can we wait for this whole thing to run, for this callback to run? We can wait for this. We can have a flag which will update. We can have a flag which will update. Let flag equals false, and uh, yep, like while not flag, don't do anything. After that, return the location. That is not the ideal way to do this, and also we have to give in case of error, what happens, update the flag again. If there is some error, in that case also update the flag, make the flag true, and here also flag equals true. So at least here we should be getting, okay, it just keeps on running and the flag is never true. It seems the flag never seems to be true. We are stuck in this while loop because I don't know. If we make this thing an object, flag and flag, and in flag go to flag and make that flag true, and here check inside while not flag, while the flag is false, don't do anything. Oh, 773, and shit, we are stuck, which is not good. Now we should not be stuck. Yep, we are not stuck, but the yeah, this thing is messed up. Okay, there is a function, is a function which takes in a callback function and updates a variable which needs to be returned by the caller function. How do make the caller function return the variable only after the callback function has run? We make this. You're describing the classic asynchronous callback problem. The short version, you cannot wait for a callback function like a normal call returns before. So okay, return a promise. You can use your current if why our current approach fails. You have something asynchronous function, callback function, and return this. Yep, this runs before the callback function. Yes, that is the error. So solution one, pass another callback, old school. Done. Call this function. Okay, then we call caller and we get the result usage. This leads to callback hell, which is why modern JavaScript prefers promise. Modern solution return a promise. A promise. This will resolve and return this. Okay, cool. We will use promise. Here, if this, then return this. Okay, and okay, let's also give the type promise number, list of numbers. Return location which doesn't happen to be a promise. If geolocation is there, then return promise res, call res with location right away implicitly has type any. We want res implicitly has type any, res will implicitly has type any. This is the promise. Promise resolve. Resolve has implicitly type any. New promise. Okay. Location type number. Okay. Cool. But if this thing is there, then return new promise that wait, return new promise that takes resolve, and this resolves. We don't need flag, we do not need location also. In this case we can just say 200 the error value, and here resolve with latitude and longitude, but in case of error then also resolve with 200. How is that? Yes, that is good, and that is my location right now. Pretty cool. If I use some VPN, I should be able to test this out. Hello bro, come back and do competitive programming. Yes brother, in a while. Are you using JavaScript for backend also? Yep, TypeScript for backend. And look at this, I'm getting my own location here. Like the website knows where I am right now. This is cool, and I can click on play a game. I just have to like update this UI, and let's play a game from here also. We have allow. If I do not allow, then I'm getting some random location in the ocean, but if I do allow, I get my own location. Cool. Login, let me log in and let me show you how this is looking right now. It's pretty cool. Thorfinn 00, password @123, and login. Cool. Start a game. Game starts. Here we can switch the board colors. It's pretty cool. Right, this person is black, let's make them black. White, and let's do fool's mate for fool's mate, I guess. And there is also sound there, which is cool. For fool's mate, this is what we do, and then this thing, black does this, white does this, black does this, and winner is black. Cool. Isn't that very cool? That just works. Wait, what? 1% your life? Oh, wait, I don't get the reference. And but this is cool. This is cool. This is working. Okay. How do I use a VPN? Let's use a VPN and see if our location changes. But no, I do not think that the location would change, because to get the location, what we are doing, shit. To get the location, what we are doing is this. We are calling this function, get current position, get current position. And when we use VPN, shit, since no matter if I'm using a VPN, the code is running right now on my laptop. The code is right now running on my laptop. So even if no matter what VPN I am using, my laptop knows where it is. So I will be getting the like current location of my laptop. So and since the front end always has access to the current location, then the front end can always tell the back end where this person is right now, and that just works. So what is the point of using VPN? To hide the IP address, I think. But I think the IP address is also accessible by the front end. Shit. Extension for Chrome. Let's see. Did you use WebSockets? Yep. This is using WebSockets. Add to Brave. Shit. I think VPN should not work right now. Wait. Right now the location is this. If I change this to something else, VPN, that is marketing. Continue with free. Okay. I have to log in. Okay. Can I not just use their service? Okay. On. We will go to Amsterdam, Netherlands. Cool. Connecting. Shit, this might not. This might mess up the stream. This might mess up the stream. I don't know. And it has already been 1 hour. Okay, that's crazy. And refresh. Shit, yes, I still am in India. So VPNs should not work because the front end always has access to the location of the person, and the front end is in constant communication with the backend, so the front end can tell the backend where things are happening. Shit. I will have to look it up. Make UI cool. Yep. Okay. Now let's like move on to the next thing. This landing page looks good enough. We can add some more stuff at some point, but this looks good enough. Play button, we go to play, but the problem is, let's say I can directly go to the play button, even though in this case I am not logged in. Here, application, local storage, there is nothing in the local storage, so this user is not logged in and they are able to get to this page directly. What should happen if there is nothing in the local storage about like the token of the user, then the front end should redirect the user onto the login page. Let's make a commit. Git add all this, git commit m, this is fix or feature home page UI location region main. Cool. Okay, how do we do this? these are all the pages, right? If we do not have to do anything on the home page, we do login page is already okay. Play page, if we are on the play page, if we are here on the play page, how do we should write a function which tells the caller whether the user is logged in or not. Network utils.ts tells the caller whether the user is logged in or not. Const is user logged in. I guess comment in this case was like not even needed because the name of the function is good enough. Okay. Local storage, and I guess we should also make a backend API which just tells whether the user is logged in or not, and also mm, because there might be a token in the local storage, but that token might be invalid. So there should be on the backend an API which takes in the token and returns the username, just the username. That would be cool. Okay, so we should make a backend API. This thing has to make a backend call, and there is also a file here apis.md which has these URLs login, and I have not written the URL for making a socket connection, which is bad. Okay, let's make backend API for this. Backend APIs, we can call this access. Access dot get me shit async. This thing takes in body. Okay, something is wrong, no value exists. Cannot find name async. Dot get and run this function. Okay, because there was no this. Cool. Get the body, and how are we getting stuff? This is for login and other things. Shit. When we are trying to log in, yep, we get the token. Okay, we get the token. When we are starting game, open on create game, create game plugin. You have to use some plugin. Game create plugin. I should add some comments over this. Okay, we have 3 plugins. Auth plugin, verify user exists. This is built on top of error plugin, which is fine. Query absent, and at the end this adds the user. After verifying the token, this adds the context of the user, which is of type JWT payload, and it has username and ID, and this thing adds, okay, this adds user whose type is username ID, ID to the context of the context. And what is the context? There is a concept of context in this Elysia library. Auth plugin is the one which does this, which is what we have to use. Cool. And yeah, auth plugin. So user.ts, access.ts, user info.ts, and this thing imports auth plugin, and on top of this auth plugin dot get, write the get request slash me gets the user and return user ID and username. We have just created another API which we should add to our apis.md as good practice. Login user here. This will be get user info, and the path is slash user slash me. Body is empty. Body is empty. This yep, does not expect anything in the body, but it expects the token to be sent in the header. Headers should be bash. Headers should be authorization bearer token. Body is empty and response is not error token. Response is username, which is a string, and user ID, which is also a string. And that is the thing being returned. Yes, that is the thing being returned. Cool. We have successfully created an API. We just have to create a similar thing here on the front end. User export const get user info async function, which does not take in anything. This will first of all get the token, and this might return the username and info, or this might give an error. Yep. And there is a type defined in the backend. Did you? Yes, I did. There is a type defined in the or in the commons folder. Interfaces enums game user is odd type. No, enums. No, this is not enum. I think I did define. Okay, I guess. Network user. Okay. This thing either returns user name string and user ID, which is also string, or it returns, and that is not the right way to say this somehow. That is not the right way because we are not returning this. Okay, shit. The return type. Okay, shit. Since this is async, so this function has to be inside a promise. Okay, cool. Return. Yep. Okay. First, we have to make the URL. That is some auto suggestion. Try axios.get not info slash me, not just this. We have to add the header here. How do we add the headers? We add the get time and everything stuff is happening here. Not console.log route. How to add headers in Axios? I guess we have to give another object, yep, headers, which takes in authorization, which is string bearer space plus local storage dot token. And yep, either this would be undefined. Only make this request if undefined. Only make this request if there is a token. Token equals local storage dot get icon token. And if token, or here if not token, return null. Otherwise try to get user data. Do this. Otherwise return null. This will be called here get user data, get user info, const user this async await for this, and if user return user is not equal to export is user logged in. Yep, that is the only thing that this function tests, if the user is logged in or not. Now we can go to other pages here, like this page. Here we will check if the user is logged in or not only when we go to this page the first time. So we can put this in use effect. Now here if is user logged in, or if this thing is false, then navigate. Navigator, nope. And we want to navigate in a way that causes a re-render. No, okay. I think we should not use the normal use navigate hook here and use something else. Okay, let's see. Wait, higher speed phone. This is not by me. Start trials. Nope. Good. Lord. Use navigate. Okay, should we use navigate? Use navigate in React puts the pages in history and the user can go back in them. I want a hard reload for some navigation when a user enters the site, and if not logged in, then they should go to login page directly. What should I use for this navigation. Cloud Sonnet 4.6. Thinking. Should use navigate works for hard reload. Replace. True. Okay. For hard navigation that replaces the current history entry, so the user cannot go back. Use navigate replace equals true. This is the right approach. For auth redirects, here is a typical pattern. This thing. Cool. And this same function is going to be used at multiple things, multiple places. So I guess we can make a direct function out of this inside lib. Navigate user if not logged in. This is a function just like a normal function. Const async, and if is not is user logged in, then navigate const navigate equals use. Can I get use navigate here? I can get navigate here. Navigate to login with replace equals true. Okay. Like, I don't think we have to get the like what this function is doing. It's pretty obvious, and we can just add this function to all the pages which should have this. Don't do this. Navigate user if not logged in. Just call this, and on the home page also navigate user if not logged in. Okay, this happens on home page, play page, and also should happen on a start page. Use effect navigate user if not logged in. Go to page. Cool. And let's start. Go to start, and shit, we are able to go there. We should have navigated. Shit, that is messed up, because this thing is not logged in. We should have navigated. We do not navigate. Console.log I console.log hello. Okay, we are seeing hi, but we do not see hello, which is wrong. We should be seeing hello. Also, if user not logged in, console.log user should backend should be giving error every time because we have not restarted the back. Okay, shit. We do not see console.log user somehow. We do not see console.log users. User.getInfo. If not, is user logged in? Because we are not calling this function. Okay, shit, that is very sad. And we see hi. Okay, shit. If this equals if shit, we also have to await if this thing is false. And got promise invalid hook call. Hooks can only be called inside of the body of a function component. Makes sense. We are calling this hook at an illegitimate place. This hook. At a start page here, if okay, const check logged in is a asynchronous function. If await, then navigate, yep, is logged in, navigate with replace equals true, and then call this function. Okay, Codium is working like pretty cool. Okay, and we have to do like legit the same thing in play page. We just start to import, use navigate, cool, and also home page. Yep. Is user login. Cool. Guess we do not do anything. Invalid hook call, you can only call hook inside a function component body. We are calling the hook in the right place. What is the call stack? App game.tsx, and we are calling the hook in game.tsx. It should be okay, but it is not okay to call the hook there. You might have mismatched versions of React. You might be breaking the rules of hooks. You might okay, makes sense. We are breaking rules of React. Okay, and I do have a question, which is, should every component which use navigate has its own definition, has its own call, and get navigate equals use navigate, or should there be a global level navigate which can be imported by anyone and used? Both approaches valid, but they have differences. Okay, use navigate recommended. Okay, everything should have its own call. This is the React way. Hooks must be called inside components, and each component should get its own use navigate. Okay, hooks must be called inside component, so we cannot have a global level call. Okay. We cannot have a global level definition of use navigate, which can be imported by anyone. Makes sense. Page is fixed. Home page is the one which is fixed. Play page should also be fixed. It is fixed. Navigate to login directly, and you are not defining use navigate, crazy, and then start page. Not define this. Yeah, use this, use navigate. Okay, and if we, yeah, cool. Now we just have to restart the backend to have this on the backend also. Okay, now I guess the backend should have this new API, and if user is logged in on the login page, go to start page. Cool, we are able to go to the start page from this. Go to home page. Cool. And from there, here, if I try to go to start page, I am redirected to home page. I just cannot go to the start page. This is pretty cool. Okay, and if we are in the login page, we should just redirect. If we are on the login or sign up page, we should redirect to the home page. Use const navigate, use navigate. Okay, use effect, use effect here. If and shit, yes, const is logged in. Wait, I guess we can have a global level function which does all this. Navigate, navigate based on login. Navigate based on login. And this thing takes in a few things. Navigate, where to navigate, and also type, or no, not type, but let's say right. Location is string, bool is boolean, or when, right? And if is user logged in equals when, call this thing await equals when, then navigate to location. We can call navigate directly here, or we could have navigate as a function without this. Yes, should make sense. Navigate function that does not take in anything, does not return anything. Navigate. Cool. And on the pages, on home page, you don't check any of this. We call navigate based on login. We pass in here a callback function which navigates to slash login, replace is true, and when user is not logged in, when false. Yeah, and we can just do this thing on all the pages on the login page. Do this exact thing. Navigate based on login. Navigate to just slash page if logged in, if the user is logged in. And on the play page, navigate based on login. In the play page, go to login page if the user is not logged in. And then on the sign up page, same thing as the login page. Import user bit, import navigate based on logic, and we have to get const navigate equals use navigate get navigate, and if the user is logged in, if it is true, then go to slash. Copy this shit. Copy this. Start. Shit, I messed up. Shit, I messed up. Navigate based on login. First thing is a callback function. Navigate to slash. Navigate based on login. If not logged in, then navigate to login. Cool. Let's see. I guess that is pretty cool. Allow. Login. I cannot go to login page. Cool. Which is pretty cool. And cool. And there should be a sign up page. Already a user. And cool. There should be a sign up page. And on the sign up page, shit. Yep. Cool. On the login page, there should be a button to go to sign up page. Login form. This should come inside the login form. I guess this should use navigate. This does use navigate. What is this? Href forgot your password, which will come later on. Input password placeholder normal is that field. All of this is hidden. Go to start if everything is okay, and after this button, field ends. We should have another field with just a little button. After this, here, and this is the field. Okay, this should say HTML for password. Nope, there is no field label required, needed here. Already a user. Wait, this is the login page. New here, question mark. Create an there is no input field needed, and after this a button. It says sign up, and on click runs a function which navigates to navigate to there is some error somewhere. Okay, cool. What do we see here? We should, if we go to login, yep, sign up anywhere, sign up. And the same thing on the login page. Cool. Same thing on the sign up page. Already a user, then go to login. Cool. Sign up, login, sign up, login. And let's this should be like smaller. This button is too big. What are the things that this wants? Default, secondary, variant equals secondary, and what we see, shit, that is cool. Secondary is cool. And what are the other options? Secondary size, can be small. Let's see. That is not like small. That is not small. Go to 4. Yeah, good. Do this. Size is small. Size is something we can do, and we can give icon. We can what are the other things we can give here? Okay, nothing changes. Link, save. We don't see anything. Okay, yep, we do see something. Okay, cool. We would like this button to not be too big. Div, class name, flex, start, justify, start. How's that? Shit. Class name width equals auto fit. Making this inline would be cool. Yeah, I cannot make this button inline somehow. Default. Size is something we can give. Ghost, destructive, link, small is what I want to give. Yo, hello. Small, I lost the button. On sign up page, in the sign up form, we have the button. Size, small, link to, let's say, destructive. That is destructive. Link is fine. Okay, that is fine. That is not fine. No. In line and make this thing appear in the same line. Shit, we don't even have to use a button. We can use the A tag. Makes so much sense. We can shade and we could just still go with button and here give flex column. I think column is the default one. Flex row. That does not work. Flex row does not work. Flex column reverse does not work because this is shit. Now it does work. Okay, cool. And here flex row. Cool. Now the login button is just here. Cool. That is much better. This field. Cool. Copy this and put the same thing in the login page. New here. Sign up all. Create new. And this should go to sign up. Cool. Login, create new. Shit. Sync up is not a thing. Login, create, login. Cool. That is cool. Create new, move this to workspace 4. Okay, go to workspace 4. What is there? There is nothing. Localhost allow. Now location is right. Okay. Play, start game. Cool. What else? A sign out button would be cool. It status, what did we change? We changed quite a few things. Git add all of this. git commit uh, feature or fix navigation checks if user logged in or not. It was origin main. Okay, cool. And now we would like to change UI of the loading page. Yep, and now the UI of the loading page, let's just keep moving. This is our main home page. Looks good enough for now. We click on play, we go to this page, and this is a little off to the right, but okay, that is fine, no problem with that. And yep, we would like to change error starting game because a connection is already there. Okay, a connection is already there, so whenever we are not on the play page, we should close the connection, but the connection is a global thing. Shit. Okay, which means inside library, yes, this should be a library thing. Interfaces, customer. Okay, and this thing has the socket. Destroy socket should be a function. Connect. Disconnect returns empty. Disconnect a type which does not take in anything, and if the socket is there, then closes the socket. Object is possibly null. If close is there, then call this. I guess we don't even have to call this. Yeah, cool. And add this, call this on all the other pages where the game is not running, on the home page and every page. Use game. Shit, we have to subscribe. Const disconnect equals use game dot use game. Cannot find use game. Okay, use game, call it. Disconnect is declared but is never used. Use disconnect. Okay, do this on the home page, on the login page, and every page. Do this on every page. Const disconnect equals use game here. Disconnect all disconnect. On the play page, nope, we do not need this. On the play page, get disconnect here. Const disconnect equals use game. You import use game here, called disconnect. Cool, we did it on the sign up page, and do the same thing on the start page also, mainly on the start page. Const, but I guess are we getting some other things from use game here? We are. Connect, let's also get disconnect. With this, yes, disconnect. Let's call disconnect. First disconnect a connection and then start a new connection. So if I refresh, I should be able to start a game. Cool. And if I go back, connection must be disconnected. Cool. If I remove this disconnect call from here, then we are able to create a game. But now I guess error. Now we are not able to create a game because the earlier socket is still running. So we have to disconnect that socket. Refresh, able to create a game, go back, create a game, go back, create a game, and we would be able to see all the logs on the back end too. Yep. User Walrus wants to play a game as random. With this time, with this increment, user Walrus 137 has closed its connection from the queue. The game didn't even start, they just closed their connection from the queue. Okay, now what we want to add, we want to make the UI better, but before that I would like to make a git commit. Git commit message fix. We fixed something which is socket disconnects socket uh, didn't disconnect when navigating to other pages. Cool. Which should happen. Okay, now we want to make UI a little better. Okay, and loading page. Let's make a loading page. Right now, what do we have here? Remove everything. Okay, on the play page, there is a loading thing. This thing. We will create a component UI loading play loading.tsx export const play loading. This thing does not take in anything, just returns a simple div for now. Return this, save, go here. Is logged in, is not being used here. That is fine. Here return payload. Shit, there should be a n at the end of this, at the end of play loading. Components UI play loading. Here also. Cool. Do we see the loading page correctly? We do not see the loading page correctly. Play loading, and there is an error above. Cool. Okay, we are able to see this. Now skeletons, loading skeletons would be cool. How to make loading skeletons? We don't just need like this random loading thing here. Let's skeletons like this, when the skeletons that we get on YouTube, loading skeleton UI, or we can just use shared scene or something. Skeleton shared scene, cool. Yep, something like this. We would like to place this exactly above the board. Okay, shit. Cool, 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 cool. We can do this easily. Copy this. Wait, no, we do not just copy this. We have to download this card thing. One index. Copy this. We'll go to terminal and cd source front end one add scene add skeleton. Okay, we can import skeleton now, I guess. Skeleton and class name with 6 height 6. Let's say for now, what do we see? We do see this thing here. Cool. Class name and let's put the skeleton back. Width is full, height is also full, and this will just come for the board. This would be our board, and inside this thing we will have all our chess squares or pieces. Let's see how it looks right now. That is something, and these two should be on the same page. Go to 4. Cool. Make this thing smaller. Okay. First of all, we have to fix the width and size of this, which shit, width and size, game board. This is the board, and this shit. Cell size is this. I guess. Shit. This should be a function. This should be a function. Export get cell size function, doesn't take in anything. Const and cool. This function run this. Okay, and skeleton, here we can get the cell size, and here on the board also we should update this to call the get cell size function. Get cell size. Cool. Here we will get cell size. Cell size equals get cell size. We have the cell size. Okay, and height and width would change accordingly. Height and width would change accordingly with cell size. Should this be formatted string or something else? A normal string is good. A string like this. Width is key unexpected token. Return deriv. Okay, this thing equals this. Cell size 8 into cell size, that is the width, and height is also 8 into cell size, and let's also console.log cell size. What is the cell size? Now the cell size is greater. Cool. But why don't we see the skeleton? How do we do this? On the board element, piece size, cell size. Cell size, get cell size, and yep, we are putting it directly inside. And yes, it makes so much sense. We messed up the syntax. Syntax says that we should have these brackets around custom sizes. Okay, we still do not see anything. Pixels, yes, shit, we have to say pixels. This many pixels, and here also pixels. Shit, okay. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Nothing. What happens on the board? This is a bit too small. Cool, now much better. With cell size 8 into this many pixels. Yes, this is like exactly what we are doing. Copy this. Right, and paste this here. Cell size is something that we are getting. We are getting cell size. We are logging the correct cell size. No. I think we are not getting, we are getting the correct cell size, but board ref, with board ref we, yeah, const board string equals, delete this, paste board string, shit. We can make this a state variable. Cell size set, cell size, use state. If you not do this, use state, you have to import use state. Get cell size. Call this function cell size is declared, but its value is never set. Cell size is value is never used because it doesn't update. I guess we just have to restart the server. Maybe something is wrong with that. Nope, nothing is wrong. If we go directly to play, we do not see anything because start play. Cool, we do not see anything which is wrong. Mm, cell size into 8 pixels. Board, in the board also we are getting cell size. We are doing all of this mathematics and we are giving everything internally normally as we should. Like here, cell size equals this thing. Yes. So what is wrong? Let's see. Inspect. Body, div, toggle theme button, cool. And then this div skeleton. 0.5 pixels. Is it because of 0.5 pixels? Is it actually because of 0.5? We are giving here their 0.5. Shit. It might actually be. Then do math dot if it is because of 0.5. Math dot load it is not because of 0.5. Shit. Root this development. Yes. Why don't we see this? Class animate pulse. Skeleton animate pulse rounded MD. Width and height are absolutely amazing. If I were to manually give here some size, let's say delete this and make this 500, we do see something. But if we change this and say cell size into 8, we don't see anything. 500.1234, we do still see something. But somehow the other one is wrong. Five hundred pixels work, but manually giving here something. What if I give 500 like this? This also works. 0.0 1. Okay, 0.1 does not work. but 500 works. 0.1 does not work. Okay, math dot floor, this works. Okay, 1, this. Okay, and if I say size, cell size does not work. Cell size does not work. Is cell size not ready? Shit. Tailwind is messing up somewhere. 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 No, wait. This should not work. That makes sense. Here also we are getting the cell size. And yep. Cell size into 8. Copy this and go to Claude. And this is not working with cust or variable. Variable side. How do I give this component a variable size? How do I give this component a variable? The class name is dynamic. Cool, makes sense. But I could give custom style, which would work. Would work. Would work. Style with board size. Yes, share. We could have a board size thing. Const board size equals cell size into 8, and here this thing equals board size, width equals board size, and height also equals board size. And we do see something that is very cool. That is very cool. And we should put this thing in the middle of the screen. Flex items center, that does not do anything. Justify center, that does do something. And height should be full of this. And then align middle, that also does not do anything. Item center, okay, cool. Items center, okay. We have this, and I think that is good enough. Or we could give it more detail. Yes, const square equals a little square size is number return a skeleton. Where size or size should be a dynamic thing. Style width equals size and height should be equal to size. Okay, and use this here. Should be capital S. And size equals cell size. Do we see it? Nope, we do not do. We should have 8 of them, but we don't see any of them, which is a bit messed up. Class name, flex row. Put them in a row, but we do not see them. Okay, that is crazy. If you put this outside this skeleton, we do see them, but inside we don't. Z index maybe, but nah. Let's see. Maybe this is the Z index problem. Z is 0 here and here. Z is 2. That is not a Z index problem. How do you put shared skeleton inside a skeleton like this? Skeleton is skeleton. I guess you cannot put skeleton inside skeleton. The outside thing. Yep, we cannot put skeleton inside a skeleton. The outside thing, the sockets, the outside thing should not be a skeleton. Should be like normal div with a nice background. Yep, cool. Class name, border empty null. How do you say, like null or something? Class rounded 0 pixel is written as rounded none. Okay, cool. Rounded is none. This should be a little gap, like single pixel gap, 1 pixel between these. And very little roundedness, or should I guess the whole board being a skeleton was much better than making each individual square a skeleton. Yep. Skeleton, good. And this thing takes up all the space. Okay. Shared. Do this, this thing should be a skeleton. Skeleton, and also a skeleton. Okay, and y is okay. And at the top of this thing should be finding an opponent. Finding an opponent, this should not be, why is this flex row, flex column, make this flex column, cool. Class name, font, cool. That is good enough. Give it a little bit of gap. Cool. Finding an opponent. Cool. Refresh. Cool. Loading page is fine. Now the actual game playing page, when we are playing the game, would be a cool thing to do. Hello. For which we do have to start a game. So anonymous, and move this to window number workspace number 5. Good shit. 6. Closed. Even if we go to start, we will not be able to go to start because this we have to log in first. And before that, I would like to make a commit. Git commit fix or feature game loading page. Yep, cool. Okay. And okay, for pin 00, password @123, enter. Cool, we are here, and if we click on this, finding an opponent here, and here also we are finding an opponent. So why didn't we start a game between these two? That does not make sense. User Thorfinn wants to play a game like this. User Walrus closed its connection. So Walrus's connection closed. So why is Walrus still in this state? Because we are not update. Shit. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Depending on the socket, we should add an event listener to the socket, or on close. Yep. On close. We should add an on close thing in the socket. 5, 2. Here we do all this, and then on socket dot error, we just have to add socket dot on close, a function that runs when we close the socket, and that function there should be another game state, like there is waiting, ended, waiting, running, and no socket. No socket. And if no socket is cool. And when this closes, set game state to game state dot no socket. Cool. That is the only thing we need to do. That is the only thing we need to do. Yes, that is the only thing here, at least here, that we need to do. And on pages, on play, depending here, not on else if game state equals not finished but ended, or else navigate to start with real place equals true, let's say. So now, okay, yes, here we are. We go to play, we do this, and the game just starts. Okay, cool. The game just starts while this thing is still finding an object. What is wrong? The backend has starting a game between Walrus and Thorfinn. Why doesn't Thorfinn not know that the game has started? Shit. Thorfinn does not know that the game has started, which is messed up. 5. Okay, the game did end. The game did end. I guess it was because we were like in between changes. Allow, and the location is right here. Cool. Play a game, start a game here, and this person also starts a game, and shit. The game has started here, but there is nothing here. There is nothing here. Okay, some error occurred. What? H2 cannot be a child of DOM. Okay, that is some other error. Update browse router while rendering two lower keys cannot find properties of undefined. Okay, properties of undefined. Who is calling undefined? Here, two lowercase. Move chars to index. Something is calling move. Custom hook. Move index. Data dot move. Wait, why is this registering this thing as a move? This is not a move. This is a game. Shit. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Okay. Yes. So now on open. Yes, we also have to update on open. On open thing. On open. Yep. Set game type. I want to set game type and everything. Set start equals true. Set with this given game type, which we are doing. Okay, this is happening on the start page. On the start page, on click, we are doing connect game type. Why are we just giving in here game type? Shit, not this game. That is a bit messed up. No, that is fine. That is fine. That is like totally fine. Library, network, interfaces, on open, game state. Yes, we also have to set game state, which makes sense. What is the initial game state? Game state initially is waiting. Game state initially is waiting, which we must update to waiting. Again, game state should be game state type dot waiting. Cool. Play, start a game, and this user play starts a game started here, game started here. Cool. And this one can play a move, very cool. And this person does this person then shit, let's go for scholars meet just for the fun of it. Here, what does this do? This person just does some stupid thing. And check. Okay, why did we go there directly? Shit. Okay, we went because the socket closed. Okay. Okay, shit. Okay, so yes, there has to be a little bit more sophistication here. When socket closes, we cannot just say that this thing happened. We also, the only case when we don't want to do this, there's some notification from OBS. OBS was trying to say something. And how long has it been? 2 hours and 30 minutes. A little bit more time. Start a game, finding an opponent. Okay. We do not stay on the login screen. We do not stay on the login screen. We do not stay when the game ends, the socket closes. Shit. And if there is no socket, we cannot be on the play page. Except if the game is set to over. If the game is over. This does no song. Yeah, cool. No problem with this. but when the game ends, set winner, and set winner is equal to something, set winner, and set winner is given to this thing, I think. Yep, set winner is t here. Set winner by default, winner is of type color. Cool. Winner is null by default. Close this. Ah, shit. Okay, cool. We got this. Here, this extra function that we had. Disconnect. Okay, yes. Get. Shit, how do I get dot? Shit, get is not a thing here. Okay, so const winner equals use this and get state when is declared but never used. If winner, if we just close the socket anyway, does not matter. But if there is a winner, keep the winner there. But we also have to remove the winner. Shit, yep, winner equals null. Set winner, null. Type color. Winner is null and winner could be this other thing also. So we should be able to, yeah, we are able to call set winner with null. Okay, cool. Argument of type null is not assignable to argument of type color. Which makes sense because this thing takes color, or this would take null also. Set winner equal to this color equal to null. Whenever we go to some other page, we set the winner to null, so that when we are on the play pages play, and the game is not waiting, the game ended, yep, ended, or winner. If there is a winner or the game has ended, in that case, go there. Refresh. Wait. Why are we finding an opponent? Cool. This person is white. Let's do fool's mate. Winner. We do see the winner. And if I go back to some other page, then go back, go to play page, I won't be able to go to the play page unless I am able to go to the play page. Shit. How is this? Shit. Why is game state is still waiting? Game state should not be waiting. Game state should not be waiting. Shit. On close, and above this function. Close the socket and set winner to null. Did we not do this? Did we not make set winner to null? We're not calling this function. Which is home call disconnect every time that we go to home. Whenever we navigate to home, whenever home mounts, call disconnect and call disconnect. Let's say disconnect also changes the game state. Here disconnect does this and set game state to game state type dot new socket, just in case. If I go to directly play, shit. Why are we finding an opponent? Game state is waiting. Why is game state waiting? Why is game state waiting? Shit. Refresh. Yes. Game state is somehow waiting. Game is state. Shit. I guess game state is waiting by default. Shit. That makes sense. That makes sense. Game state is waiting by default. Lip not network here. Yep, it is waiting by default. You can put it socket and cool. When on open we do it, we make it waiting. Cool. Play, we don't see anything. Why don't we see anything? We are not rendering this. Go to start or go to home. Or there is a winner, but the winner is null. Connect. Yes, this connect will, before this thing, call disconnect to like clear up everything that is happening, like set winner and game socket, and socket close if there was already a socket. So const disconnect equals use game dot get state to disconnect. Whenever we start a new socket, if we go to when we see this shit, this does not make sense at all. You should not be seeing this. Console log, no gate, and we do not see game over. We do not see any of this, so probably we are here. And navigate, we are using navigate, replace true, not something went wrong. Game console.log game state. Rendering a different component play to locate bad set state call play. No socket. Okay, we are not able to navigate. Okay, we are not able to navigate, so okay, we should do this inside a use effect. Here, if game state equals game state type dot no socket, then navigate to search. Cool. And if we directly go to play, we cannot go to play. We can go to start. Stat is not even a thing. We can go to start, but we cannot go to play. Cool. Now we can start working on the actual game UI. Okay, but not right now. Now I would like to. Hello, Kakashi. Would you like to play a game? I was like about to end the stream, but let me show you like the progress that I have made. This is the home page. You click on play, you go here and you click here and you see this skeleton loading, finding an opponent, and you go do the same thing on the other side. And also apart from this thing, there is only a single red spot on the globe, and that will be your current location where you are right now. So that is cool. And you start a game starts, and you just like play the whole thing. It's cool. Yep. And how are you? Yep. Let's go. Let's play a game. This game. Today I will beat you. Today I will like do my best to defeat you. And we can play a 10 like, are you like up for playing a game? and just a few tweaks and everything would be cool. And look at this thing. This is managing these workspaces. Look at this. I'm switching between them, which is pretty cool. Okay. Let's play a game. Play with a friend. Okay, shit, this was lagging for a minute. Rated, maybe not rated. Uh, we can play in like shit. I guess I cannot say because right now we can play a game. Message not showing up. Wait, let me resend. Play a friend. This is lagging. This is lagging. Let me like stop the server. Now it is better. Cool. You would should this one is rated. This one is rated. If I do defeat you, you will be like in a bad position. Okay, cool. Sweet, yes. This thing also has to be added. Arrows and stuff. But they can come later. Shit. Okay. I'm good. Shit, how do I give checkmate? Uh, GG. Shit. That was shit. I guess you were not playing like shit. You were not playing at your best. You would have like crushed me. Yes, you did blunder. You shit. I don't know how I was able to win, but shit, this was crazy. This was crazy. So there is a animation when the pieces move from one place to other. There is an animation. Hmm. There should be this animation in the like website also. Uh, I cannot say where you blundered, but you did blunder. So you messed up. Okay, and cool. That was cool. A nice game. I gave Bishop for free. There was brilliancy. Shit. Yes, there was brilliancy. And chess.com always gives brilliant moves even if I lose. I don't know why. It's one review. This was great. Some shit. Okay. I mean, yes, you. I think you messed up here, like, and then, it was okay. Shit, this was brilliant. Shit, this is like actually brilliant. This is brilliant because leave their knight hanging was a great tactical choice. Leaving, I guess there is no way to save this knight. Okay, like I do not have enough brain cells to understand how this was brilliant. And queen and knight fork at the start. Not yep, you did a lot of silly mistakes, but wait, I do not understand why is this like brilliant forking a knight and a queen. Leave their knight hanging. was leaving their night hanging was a great idea. So like, let's say I did this, then you could take, you cannot take like this, but you could take like this. Okay, that was bad. Then you could do this maybe, and I do something else. Then you do this, and then you can take the knight. I guess I do like shit. Okay, shit, that was not a good move, I guess. Okay, you saved your knight like this. Uh, shit, I don't get it. Follow line in there. Key move. You want? This was also great. I mean, okay, this was a blunder. You left your bishop hang. Ah, shit. Okay, makes sense. Yes, you left your bishop hanging here. This was also bad. Yep. And then it was cool. This was brilliant. This was brilliant. Cool. And I thought it used to show the best line. It is just like showing something like this. Shit, I can click on. Okay, in next it is showing what actually happened. Brilliant. Yep, like that is the best follow up. And okay, this would be it for today. Yep, this was cool. Okay, there was a lag, but okay. And okay, that would be it for today's stream. And thank you for being here. We updated the front end and made it a little bit better. Yeah, we just have to make the front end more better and we will be cool. Thank you for being here. Bye.